Hi guys, so today I was asked to make a video on what types of people might be narcissist or sociopath magnets. And there's a number of different types of people that may be in this position, but I'm going to go over some of the basics. So one, people that are overly empathetic, if people that are very empathetic, they're very attuned to other people's feelings. They feel other people's feelings, and they empathize with the narcissist, especially if the narcissist doesn't have any friends, or they seem really lonely, or they do the sort of vulnerable, shy, covert narcissist where they, seem almost pitiable, and they're just so lonely and they're so sad and they're such the victim, right? And of course, narcissists are experts at manipulating others and playing the victim, because remember, nothing's ever their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. They were hurt. Sometimes if they're the overt narcissist, they'll tell you a sob story about how bad their life was and how everyone has been unkind to them or unloving, and they've just been, taken advantage of their whole lives or abused. So sometimes they'll tell you the sob story, or sometimes they'll just appear to be quite vulnerable and sad and the victim. And the overly empathetic person may look at them and be like, look, they don't really have any friends. They're so lonely. They're so disconnected. I can help them, right? So the overly empathetic people tend to be, delicious food for the narcissist, and a narcissist loves that because it's almost like a drug of like mainline validation. Like they're just getting this incredible validation from that overly empathetic kind person, right? And it's just like it's delicious to them. It's like a huge feast. Another type of person that might attract a narcissist is the rescuer. These are people who they try to help others. They try to rescue others. They try to fix other people's problems. These can be people that tend to be a little bit, on the codependent spectrum, where they're just, oh, you have financial problems. Let me help you with that. Or, oh, you have, you don't have any friends. Let me introduce you to my friends. Oh, you're so lonely. Let me, spend time with you so you're not lonely anymore. Oh, you're so isolated. Let me spend time with you. So these, the rescuers, can tend to also attract narcissists. Narcissists love that because, again, the narcissist is always the victim. It's never their fault. It's always someone else's fault. And they often, really love to be, quote unquote, rescued. So be careful if you have that proclivity to want to rescue or fix other people. Another one is the overly, optimistic people. These are people that just see the good in everyone. They have a very hard time accepting that there is true evil in this world. They think everyone is maybe just sick or broken and just needs a little bit of help. These are the people that they look down the path with rose-colored glasses. So, when you look down the path with rose-colored glasses, be aware that the flags, the red flags, just look like flags. So you might disregard the red flags, and you keep, you're super optimistic, and you don't see that, this person is evil, or has ill intent towards you, or is manipulative, or is, has these highly narcissistic traits. So sometimes for the overly optimistic or positive people, this can be being in a relationship with a narcissist or a sociopath or a psychopath can be a real wake-up call. And in a way, it can almost rob you of your innocence, because when you find that you were confronted with evil, true evil, it can be, shocking that you find that you spent, you could have spent 10 years or whatever with a covert narcissist or sociopath, and then you're faced with the reality that you were with somebody who was, had a lot of evil in them, and that can be a real loss of your innocence. It can rob you of your innocence, which in a way is sad, but on the other hand, it is can be a reality wake-up call to avoid, highly manipulative people in the future. And then overly forgiving people. And sometimes these people, it's a spiritual, it's a spiritual basis of, you're taught, if you're taught in a religion or whatever, that you need to be forgiving, you forgive everyone. That can be another narcissist magnet, because the narcissist can, be abusive, where they're psychologically, physically, or verbally, and you just keep giving them second chances and third chances, and you keep, accepting them back. And, usually when like a normal person, when they've done something to hurt you, not a healthy person, when they've done something to hurt you, you confront them on it, you have communication with them, you tell them that it hurts you. A lot of people will try to change that behavior and not do that again if they know that it hurts you, and they'll take responsibility for it, right? That's what healthy people do. But to a narcissist, what forgiveness is to them is forgiveness equals permission. They think if you have taken them back and you have forgiven them for some egregious trepidation on your boundaries, that means that it's okay for them to do that. So forgiveness to them equals permission. So you have to be very careful. Obviously, we should be forgiving. We should live in a state of forgiveness, but be judicious about your forgiveness and be wise. And, it's okay to forgive people in your heart without having a relationship with them. It's okay to forgive people, but still have really strong boundaries. And then another type that may find themselves in a relationship with a narcissist is a person who was raised by a narcissistic parent. And these people, they're, you'd think that they'd be like, oh, I was raised by a narcissist, I don't want to, be with a narcissist. But in fact, what happens is it can feel very familiar to you. And also, it's like you may have learned that love is conditional, and you may think that all human relations require that you must prove that you're lovable by your deeds, because that's how narcissistic parents are. Like, basically everything is about what they can do for you, how you make them look. So you may think that all relationships require that you prove that you're lovable by your actions, and that may just be normalized to you. So it may be normal for you to get with a narcissist as an adult in a relationship and be like, it feels comfortable that you're constantly having to prove your worth, right? And that's not love. Love is people, it's unconditional. It's not based on what you buy for them, or how much housework you do for them, or, how much money you make for them. Like, that is not, that's not love. That's approval based on performance. And that's what narcissistic parents do to their children. And that it can be, if you were raised by a narcissist, you might get into a relationship thinking that is actually normal. So these are just some of the types of people that may be narcissist magnets. So if you have these qualities, obviously having empathy is a very amazing, wonderful quality. Being forgiving, being overly optimistic, these are wonderful qualities. Don't stifle those qualities in you ever, but learn to spot the red flags so you can avoid people that are narcissistic and selfish and highly manipulative. You can get out of the dance with them once you see their dysfunction. You can learn to spot these red flags and just be, aware and careful about, how much you're forgiving. If you're forgiving somebody and if somebody punches you and you forgive them and they punch you again, get the heck out of there, dude. So these are just some of the, things to sort of look for in yourself. One other thing is sometimes narcissists will be in relationships with other narcissists. That occasionally does happen. And, it's interesting. There's actually some research out there that suggests that those relationships actually can work pretty well, especially if the narcissists are two different types of narcissists, like an overt and a covert, because they're just constantly validating each other and gaming each other, and they're both cheating, they're both lying, they both have these double lives, but they're they're living this life of like this weird chess game. And of course, internally, they hate each other, and there's a lot of contempt there and disdain, but that actually can happen. And sometimes those relationships actually work for quite a long time. Other times they blow up because, their gross qualities just combust with each other. But occasionally you will have a narcissist with another narcissist. It's not the norm. Typically narcissists are, attracted to people that are really easy, high sources of validation. And usually those are not other narcissists. So I hope this video helps you. And if you have some of these qualities, I'm not suggesting that you should stifle them. I'm just suggesting that you should be aware that you may be a target for people that are unscrupulous, duplicitous, highly manipulative, and you just need to have really strong boundaries around people like that. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.